Welcome back to the Koi 9 Hole Cup Expert Division, hole number 3. This shot can be a little complicated, so pay close attention. Take notes if you need to. This is going to give you your best opportunity to drop, in my opinion. We're going to be blasting an APOC luminary type ball into thorn range and doing a thorn backspin shot for our approach. The drive plays P5 minus 10% at slider. Always going to be 2 right spin and 2 top spin to start. Our starting position is as follows. APOC 5 and 6. At P5 max extension, your yellow ring will be touching the second cut of rough right there. That's the cut that I'm talking about. APOC 7 will be 2/3 of your red ring into the second cut of rough at P5 max extension, and APOC 8 will be as shown, 1/3 of the red ring into the second cut at P5 max extension. Here's the caveat for the drive. If you have winds 7.9 and lower, your push-up is 15 plus yards. If you are not able to push up 15 plus yards, you will add 0.2 top spin for every plus yard that you are short on your push-up. So if you can only push up 13 plus yards, you're going to add 0.4 top spin to your spin set to make sure that you don't come up short on the drive. There's several different wind angles here. You get several different bounces and rollouts. So it's real important that you pay attention to what you pull down to and what your wind strength is. Lower winds, 7.9 or lower, pushes up 15 plus yards, and you will add 0.2 top spin for every plus yard you are not able to push up. If your winds are between 8 and 8.5, you push up 14 plus yards. You don't need to tweak the spins. If your winds are between 8.6 and 9.1, and you pull down to the plus 14 or higher, then your push up is 13 plus yards. If your winds are 8.6 to 9.1 and you pull down to the plus 13 or lower, then your push up is 12 plus yards. Sounds complicated, but it's not that bad. Practice it once or twice. You'll see it's not really that bad. You just got to pay attention to what you pull down to and what your wind strength is and push up accordingly. All right. I'm going to go over it quickly one more time. 7.9 and lower is a 15-yard push up with 0.2 added to the top spin for every plus yard you're not able to push up. 8 to 8.5 is a 14-yard push up. 8.6 to 9.1, you're either going to push up 13 or 12 plus yards, depending on what you pull down to. If you pull down to the plus 14 or higher, you push up 13 plus yards. If you pull down to the plus 13 or lower, your push up is 12 plus yards. Always going to play full overpower and always going to use the same right curl to have the center line splitting the shot circle on the right curl. All right, let's watch the drive real quick, and I will start to go over the approach shot. Again, for the drive, P5, minus 10, max numbers. Let's start talking about the approach because there's a couple of different rollouts you can get. There's obviously wind strength that's going to play into it, and where you're set up in your club plays into it, okay? So the elevation for the approach shot is P5 plus 55% elevation. That's 5-5 plus 55% at slider using one of the 2 charts that I provided on the left here. We're either going to do a bottom of the white ring hole check, or you're going to be set up in plus yards, okay? The drive distances on this shot can vary anything from 408 to 421. Okay, so that's why we have 2 different checks for this approach shot. The approach shot is always max backspin and then in between 1 and 2 left spin as needed to keep your blue ring off of the fringe on the bottom right corner. So here it's not showing it properly, but he's doing a bottom of the white ring to the hole check, obviously, right? Not exactly sure. I don't remember exactly what it was for him there, but that's what he's doing, okay? From there, we're going to add max backspin and then side spin as needed to ensure that our blue ring is always on the green. So here he doesn't have much of an issue because he rolled far enough up that it's not a problem. With the shorter rollouts, you'll find that sometimes your blue ring will get really close to the fringe on the bottom right corner, and you want to make sure that you add left spin as needed to ensure that the blue ring is not in the fringe, right? So one other note for this is wind strength. So if your winds are between or 7.9 or lower, then you're going to have, with spins added, the tip of the ball guide just touching the top center of the cup. If your winds are between 8 and 8.5, you're going to have the ball guide set as he has here. I took the picture a little bit early, but basically the tip of the ball guide is going to go through the hole by about a cup, and it's going to split the right edge of the cup, okay? So winds between 8 and 8.5, you'll have the tip of the ball guide through the cup by about a cup and splitting the right edge of the cup. You'll see it when I get off of this picture, it'll go to it. If your winds are 8.6 to 9.1, you're going to have the tip of the ball guide through the hole by about a cup, but you're going to be offset just outside the right edge of the cup by about the width of the ball guide, okay? So, a 16th of a square or a quarter of a cup outside the right edge for higher winds. That's offset as needed for wind strength, okay? So low winds, you're going to have the tip just touching the top center of the cup. Medium winds between 8 and 8.5, you're going to have it offset just through the hole, splitting the right edge. You see he's going to move it a little bit here. It's going to go down, and like he's splitting the right edge, but just through the cup by about a cup. And then 8.6 to 9.1, you're going to want to be just outside the right edge of the. Practice this hole. It's a great opportunity to drop an albatross. It sounds a little complicated, but once you go through the setup and you understand the positioning and everything, it's really not that bad. So practice it once or twice, get a good feel for the hole, and go drop this albatross. Good luck. We'll see you on